And these people, they're going to be food for the lions.
Really?
Right, and the elephants too, they're going to get stomped.
It's the second entrance. 9:21. And I saw and spared it greatly, and kept me a grape of the cluster.
Right, and kept me a grape of the cluster, that's the elect corn.
And a plant of a great people.
And a plant of a great people. Who's the noble vine? The children of Israel, not all of the other nations. Go on.
Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
Whoa, wait a minute. That's not biblical.
It's got to be, it's in the Bible.
That can't be right, brother. I thought God loved everybody. Let's read this.
And it says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
So this is out of the Bible. It says, let the multitude perish that was born in vain. Now, how come Pastor Charlie Porkchop don't read this? You know why? Like I said, because he's going to lose all of that money that he done hoarded from the people that have no money at all. And he's going to lose everything that he got, even the mosques. The Muslims, they're going to lose everything they got. But we don't give a good goddamn about money, because we make money in our own way, and we're able to live day to day. All right? We got enough to sustain ourselves, so we don't care about the money. What we bringing about right now is the word of God, and it's the truth. Let's read this. Okay, we finish what we got.
He that shall endure the peril in that time have kept himself.
Right, he that endured the perils of that time shall have kept himself. How did he keep himself? Because he kept the word. The word of the Lord was kept.
The word of his patience.
Right, the word of his patience, the sufferings was kept. So that ain't talking about everybody. That ain't talking about every individual that sits down on their buttocks all day long and hear what Pastor Charlie Jenkins Porkchop pastor got to say. They're not going to endure anything. They're going to pretty much be put to death. Just call it straight. Go on.
They say, they that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith towards the Almighty.
Right, so them that fall into danger, like the Apostle Paul, okay, John the Revelator, John the Baptist, all of the men that the Most High set up, they all fell into danger, and they still maintained their integrity and the faith and the understanding of Yahweh and the Son Yahushua. And the Lord is going to bless us with that spirit, man. And I pray that the Most High puts that spirit on all brothers, so that when we go through the hell, as the ancient prophets did, we'll overcome to the end, and we'll receive the reward of the kingdom of heaven. And we'll see the demise and the destruction of this particular nation here. All right? Let's read on.
Know this therefore, that they which be left behind.
Right, so it says, know this, read that verse again.
Know this therefore.
Right, know this therefore, go on.
That they which shall be left behind.
Right, they that be left behind, go on.
Are more blessed than they that be dead.
So that's the remaining of those that are going to be alive. So they're going to be alive until the Son of Man comes. Now, who's the Son of Man? We know according to the Bible is a so-called black man who the world called Jesus Christ. So you're going to have certain men that's going to remain on earth until they see him come in his glory, and they're going to be the living.
Right.
So not everybody's going to die out of this nuclear war.
Right.
Go on.
Let's say, this is the meaning of the vision, whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea. The same is he whom the most high, the highest, have kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind.
And he shall order them that are left behind. That him is talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, Yahushua.
Right.
So he's going to order them that were left behind, them that remain in the destruction. Let's get this. Okay, go on.
Let's say verse 48. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. Now when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations.
When he destroyeth the multitude of the nations. Let's pound the camera again, brother. These are the multitude of the nations. Zoom in right over there as you can see. Pound the camera behind me too. They're going to perish, man. The Bible says that they're going to perish. So why does it matter what the parish has to say? That's why The multitude is also known as the mass. What does the word mass mean? The word mass means death, because the majority of the people are going to be put to death. What matters the most is what the elect is saying out of these scriptures. That's what stands. Read that again.
So they say, now when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations,
Right, so when he destroyed the multitude of the nations, which he's going to do again, go on,
that are gathered together,
which are gathered together, go on,
he shall defend his people.
he shall defend who?
His people.
I thought he's going to defend everybody. Oh shit.
He shall defend his people
He shall defend his people
that remain.
that remain. So who's his people that's going to remain? The elect out of the nation of Israel.
Right.
Let's get it correct here.
And then shall he show them great wonders.
And then shall they be shown great wonders from heaven. The chariots on high, the so-called UFOs. Let's get the wonders from heaven. Revelations 1, please. Revelations 1. You get Revelations 1. Read the scripture. You'll read that.
Right, this is Matthew 24, start 39.
Right.
And they knew not until the flood came
And they, right.
and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then
So-
shall two be in a field, and one taken, and the other left.
And the other left. So that's the few that's going to make it. I thought God saved everybody. Wait a minute. It says that the Lord is going to save the elect. Alright, that's what it says. It don't say that God loves everybody and he's going to save everybody. Oh, I'm saved. What are you saved from? And don't martial law troops come down in your own household. You're not going to be saying you saved them. So we're done with this, right?
One little thing, one little thing.
Okay, go on. Please.
1 Thessalonians 4 verse 17. Then we which are alive
Right.
and remain
Right.
shall be caught up together with them in the clouds
So-
to meet the Lord in the air.
So,
and so shall we ever be with the Lord.
Right.
Wherefore comfort one another with these words.
So how are we going to meet the Lord in the air? Can somebody explain to me, how are we going to meet the Lord in the air? They can't explain it, but we can't explain it. You know why we can explain it? Because we can see, we understand that the reality of the matter is that truth is stranger than fiction. And what's strange about the truth is that what the so-called white man calls UFOs, okay, the chariots of God, the heavenly host of heaven, is what's going to deliver the children of Israel. Now that's strange. That's something strange for your eyes. If you have a carnal mind state, all right. Go on.
Matthew 24 verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
Go on.
And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn.
Why they gonna mourn? Because they're gonna see the Lord coming in great anger and destruction.
And they shall see the Son of Man.
So I thought everybody's gonna be happy. Get together as a rainbow coalition, Lottie ice in hand, strawberries and in all kinds of lovely things. No, it says that the tribes of the earth are gonna mourn when they see the Lord. Why? Because the nations are gonna see and experience the great wrath and the astronomical destruction that's gonna be sent down here on this earth. Go on.
So it says,
Yeah, let him
coming
finish
in the
that.
clouds of heaven
Right.
with power and great glory, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet,
Right.
and they shall gather together his elect
And they shall gather together his elect.
from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
Right. The east, the west, the south, the north. So at the end of the day, it's a very small amount of people that's going to be saved from the Lord. Everybody is not going to be saved, people. All right? I know you've been taught lies for centuries and onwards, and that the Pope, the child molester himself, been taught you a lie for as long as you can remember, or the pastor himself that's hoarding all of your money, right? But guess what? What they done told you is a lie. What they said was a lie all along, because when we open up the book of the Most High himself and we read it for ourselves, we find out that there's a different agenda at course. That's what we find out. Let's read the agenda of the Lord. Go on.
Revelation 7, verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed.
And I heard the number of them which was sealed. Go on.
And there were sealed 144,000
So that's showing you right there who's going to be sealed.
of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Of all the tribes of the children of Israel. I thought everybody could be included in that. I was taught lies all my life. So now what we're doing is we actually reading the Bible for ourselves and we finding out what the true agenda of God is. The 144,000 are going to be saved. I thought everybody was going to be saved. I thought we just got to forgive and forget, have mercy, right? No, it don't work like that. Everybody out here, it says the multitude are going to perish that was born in vain. So how does the Most High forgive you for your sins that you do time in and time out? The pastor will tell you, look, you can come as you are, you can sin and then go back to church all over again and sin again and do it all over again because God loves you. But a true guy or a true member of the elect is going to repent and they're going to stay away from the evil things that they've done. They're not going to be eating no more pork, no more shrimp, no more lobster, and they're going to have a disciplined diet. And they're going to live a highly disciplined life. All right? That's what the people of God are going to do, the elect. Let's read this again.
So it says, verse 5, of the tribe of Judah was still 12,000.
So it says of the tribe of Judah was still 12,000.
Of the tribe of Reuben was sealed 12,000.
You're going?
Of the tribe of Gad was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon was sealed 12,000.
We're going to keep reading it. Go on.
Of the tribe of Levi was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar was sealed 12,000.
So who is the Issacharites? The so-called Mexicans. They're part of the elect too. Now you know. Go on.
Of the tribe of Zebulun was sealed 12,000.
The tribe of Zebulun is, let me see, Panamanians to Guatemala. Go on.
Of the tribe of Joseph was sealed 12,000.
The tribe of Joseph is the tribe of Ephraim, which is the so-called Puerto Ricans. Go on.
Of the tribe of Benjamin was sealed 12,000.
Which is the so-called West Indians. Go on.
After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number.
So there was no so-called white people in it. And then say the tribe of Edom, still 12,000.
Yeah, done.
All right?
Done.
So guess what? You GOCC cats out there, you got to rearrange your doctrine to the truth and stop teaching that nonsense about how a remnant of Edom is going to deny their fathers. That is not in the scriptures at all. It is not in the precept, okay? And it says, those that were sealed 12,000 of the tribe of Judah as well, which is the so-called North American Negro. All right? And them that are scattered abroad in the shores of Nigeria and other places. Go on.
Which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds.
So let's find out what that word kindred means. It's now people are going to get simple and they're going to say, well, that means everybody. No, it don't mean everybody. Let's look up that word kindred. Somebody look up that word kindred. Because not only do we just read scriptures, but we also dissect them as well. So we can get some further understanding on what's going on with this Bible. Right? And I don't care where the hell we at, we in King's Cross. We're going to shout the word of the Lord and we're going to exalt the voice as commanded in scripture. Don't tell me about, oh, those that shout the most are want to be heard. That ain't in the Bible. That ain't biblical. What's biblical, though, is that we ought to exalt our voice. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. And other brothers around the world that do that. Okay?
Right, so kindred. So it's a tribe. In the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch of Jacob.
So you have to descend from one of the 12 sons of Jacob. You cannot come in the midst of the multitude unless you're Israel. You have to be an Israelite to receive salvation. The world called Jesus Christ to not die for the world. And you, John 3:16 is out there. You use that scripture to, validate your point. But it's not validable because John 3:16 could be broken down correctly. Go on.
And tongues stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our God.
Right, and salvation to our God. I thought he was the God of everybody once again. So the Israelites received salvation. Who are the Israelites? So-called Negroes, so-called Latino, Native Americans. All right? And that's going to be burned to smithereens too. All of that shenanigans is not going to be in our kingdom. These women, they're going to cover up their asses, their funky behinds, and they're not going to show no more vagina pieces anymore.
Right.
So everything's going to be restored in complete order. And women are going to respect themselves, and these men are going to respect themselves too, in our work. All right? Bottom line, end of story. End of story, okay? And these women ain't even got a nice shape anyway to be doing all that crap. Okay?
All right, this is Revelation.
Hey, I'm not really in the mood today, man. I'm not sounding a bit rash, but hey, just gotta come out like that, man. Go on.
Right, this is Revelations 11 and 12. And I heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither.
Yeah.
And they ascended up in heaven in a cloud.
It says, come again and hither. And they ascended up into a cloud. So the elect are going to be descended into one cloud, and we all going to meet each other. And that's how we're going to meet the Lord in the air. All right? It doesn't mean that heaven is going to be in the sky and there's a ground and everybody's floating around. No. We're going to meet the Lord in a chariot. Okay? Let's break this down correct. Get everything put in perspective. All right? Go on.
And their enemies beheld them.
And their enemies beheld them. Meaning they said, how the hell these Negroes and these so-called Latinos are the people of God? Let's get that in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. We're going to see how the enemies beheld us. All right? Let's read this. Let's find this out. What Revelations, what you was reading, brother?
Revelations 11 and 13.
We're going to find out what Revelations 11 and 13 is speaking about. Go on.
Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 1. There shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
So wait a minute. That proves that we are the righteous men. Because we're standing out in great boldness. Something that a lot of these pastors cannot do and will not do.
Too scared.
Because they too scared and they got their panties in a bunch to do what we're doing. They ain't got the heart nor the courage to stand up for the word of the Lord the way we do it. Okay? The way we do it is the correct way. Alright? All of them brothers you see in Great Millstone, raising hell in the street, breaking down the precepts the right way, you gain an understanding. Alright? We're doing it the right way. And you know too, more and more so, you have people that followed IURC, that follow the GOCC, they now coming around the way that GMS is doing. They saying that GMS, they go into it. Okay? One guy asked the question, he said, so how come all of the camps have to come under GMS? And